Senator, I think it is appropriate for prosecutors to evaluate each case that comes before them, and almost every
prosecutor. But that's not what I'm asking.
Senator, I agree that prosecutors have the legal option to use the flexibility given to them.
When they exercise that option, do you agree with that?
I think it would depend on the circumstance under which they're exercising it and what the rationale was for their decision.
Well, what are the circumstances where it's okay to do that?
Hey everyone! Today I'm breaking down an intense Senate hearing where Senator John Kennedy goes toe-to-toe with a judicial nominee. This is one of those moments you've got to see to believe, where tough questions reveal a lot about a potential judge's perspective.
Do you think it's appropriate for prosecutors to say, I disagree with the legislature and the people, and I'm not going to prosecute an entire line of cases?
Senator, I think it is appropriate for prosecutors to evaluate each case that comes before them, and almost every prosecutor.
But that's not what I'm asking.
Senator, I agree that prosecutors have the legal option to use the flexibility given to them.
When they exercise that option, do you agree with that?
I think it would depend on the circumstance under which they're exercising it and what the rationale was for their decision.
Well, what are the circumstances where it's okay to do that?
So I think prosecutors in this country work very difficult jobs under very demanding conditions.
I'll stipulate to that.
Senator, I have never worked as a prosecutor. I have.
Yes, ma'am, but you've read about it.
Yes, sir.
What's going on? Do you agree with it or disagree with it?
Senator, I don't think I can give a categorical yes or no to that because I think it would depend on the circumstances.
You just answered my question. When you sent out those personal tweets about Senator Cotton, Senator Blackburn, and Senator Cornyn, did you mean them at the time?
Without hearing those tweets, Senator Kennedy, it's hard for me to remember precisely, what was said or what I was thinking at the time. I do very much regret the tone that I've taken on social media from time to time. I know that I've crossed the line from time to time, and
When you crossed the line, did you mean it?
I've contributed to the coarseness on Twitter sometimes by pushing the envelope to break through.
But when you did it, did you mean it?
It's hard for me to respond to that kind of generally, Senator Kennedy, without a specific
You're a smart
example.
guy. Sure you can. You either meant it or you didn't. You got two choices, door A, door B.
Well, Senator Kennedy, I know that I've pushed the envelope.
Okay. Do you regret it?
I do regret it, Senator.
Do you regret it because you didn't mean it? Or do you regret it because it might cause you not to be confirmed? Do you think the United States Constitution should be interpreted according to how people understood it at the time it was adopted?
Thank you, Senator. I don't have a personal judicial interpretation philosophy apart from what
you're going to be on the United States Court of Appeals if you're confirmed, and you don't have a judicial philosophy about how the United States Constitution should be interpreted?
Well, Senator, in terms of how it would be interpreted, I'm going to be bound by how others have said the circuits, the judges interpret it. And so...
Yeah, but we don't decide cases using algorithms and just take all the United States Supreme Court cases and put them in, and they haven't addressed every issue. Let me ask it again. Do you think the United States Constitution should be interpreted according to the way that people understood it at the time it was adopted? And if you don't, how do you think it should be interpreted? It's a very simple question for a Court of Appeal nominee.
Well, thank you, Senator. I think the question actually is a little more complicated. The Supreme Court has...
No, it's not. It's about as basic as you can get. It's con law 101.
Now, here's where it gets really interesting. Kennedy starts pressing on some really specific topics, like biological sexes and prosecutorial discretion. But get this, the nominee is masterful at avoiding direct answers. Every time Kennedy tries to pin them down, they respond with these carefully worded, nuanced replies that basically say nothing. Hey, before we continue, if you're enjoying this breakdown, make sure to hit that subscribe button. It helps me bring you more content just like this. What do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Was the nominee too evasive or just being careful? Let me know. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.